tropical fish, as well as a species of shark and 3 green sea turtle. So over the next 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to see if we can feed all the residents that we have in our exhibit here. My name is Adam. I'll be talking to you guys throughout the day and also throughout the feeding, and also attempting to feed one of our nurse sharks here. And I'll get into the introductions right now really quickly. Right across the way from me, all the way in the back here, we have Wendy. What Wendy's going to be doing right now is calling over our 3 green sea turtles, go by the name of Chip, Nip, and Skip. Now, those turtles are going to be held over there, are going to be called over there, not held, called over there to feed. The knocking noise that you just heard, these guys are conditioned to that sound, knowing that that means food, okay? So once they hear that, they're going to rush over to that little square thing there, because what the square is doing is actually containing their food. Turtle food floats. All right, our other fish in the exhibit here, they're very greedy. Anything that floats, they eat. So we have to make sure we contain the food for the turtles and make them feed in that little square area, so that the fish don't get any of the food, because it's very all right, so, and then also she's going to build up a situation. I'll be going, kind of switching positions right now to go to the platform right there that you see open, where she will be dispersing or broadcasting some smaller cut fish to all the other fish in the exhibit. Now guys, throughout this talk I will tell you what these fish are and where they can be found, and of course I'll tell you a little bit more about our sharks. Right across the way we have Rakeem. What Rakeem is going to be doing, he's going to be broadcast feeding, sorry, my bad, he's going to be feeding one of our sharks right there on that side, okay? So basically right now, what we're going to see if we can do, we're going to attempt to see if we can broadcast some of this fish that we have. Alright guys, so have a little switch up in food here. So what we're going to do, I'll talk to you guys a little bit. And get the next one. That we're supposed to do. Alright. So yeah guys, right where he's going to be sitting, he's going to be broadcast. He's going to be feeding one of our nurse sharks there. Myself guys, I'm going to be feeding one of the sharks. I'm joined by Dr. Navi here. Basically, what she's going to be doing, she's our head vet here at Cayman Turtle Center. What she'll be doing is assisting me to check over one of our nurse sharks, alright? Now guys, our nurse sharks have been in our exhibit for now 16 years. They've been with us for quite some time. They know what to do, alright? They know where to go, they know what to do, alright? They know everything that has to do with feeding, they know where to come and get their food. So you're going to see that in just a moment. Now, our nurse sharks are one of the most, not these two, but the species in general, are our most popular sea nurse sharks around the Cayman region right now. If you guys are staying over with us, you're doing some diving, swimming, snorkeling, whatever the preference is, you may be in luck to see one of our nurse sharks, or to see a nurse shark, at one of these dive snorkeling sites, okay? Now, you normally see them closer to the bottom of the ocean. Somewhere, if it's in the daytime, it's going to be hiding under a rock ledge or something, or in a cave or something. These guys are not that active during the day. Alright, they're more of a nocturnal creature. However, they can be active during the day. Now, nurse sharks are a benthic feeder, or a demersal fish, or a benthic feeder, meaning they live 100% of their life on the bottom of the ocean, okay? That's where they stay. Now, of course, during the feeding, I'll get into a little bit more in depth on our nurse sharks here. Now, let me just introduce the fish that we have in the exhibit. Now, the fish in the exhibit here, guys, can be found throughout the Cayman region. You will be able to see these guys. We have some very popular fish in here, such as the tarpon, which are the long, slender fish, dark on the top, silver on the bottom. There's about 5 of them here, guys. All right. In the middle, there's a large school of snapper, a wide variety of different types of snapper, but the main one that you'll see are what are known as schoolmasters, all right? When schoolmasters school on a reef and they swim by, it looks like a sheet of gold. It's really cool, actually. But they're the bronzish looking fish with the gold tails, all right? And then we have a great barracuda in the exhibit here. His nickname is Houdini, okay? His nickname is Houdini. Houdini is a little bit on the younger side, so not yet that brave. There he is in the back splashing around. But when he grows, he will start coming to the front. And what you're looking for when you're looking for Houdini is a long, slender fish, very sharp and pointy nose. Again, he likes sticking to the back. Now, the fish you see on the surface in the back there above that large rock is another star of the show. His nickname is Groot. Groot is actually our large black grouper. Okay, he started off in the exhibit at 10 inches in length. We didn't even realize that he was a black grouper until he started growing. All right. A lot of groupers look very familiar or very similar when they're small, but when they start to grow, you can see the distinct patterns of other species. Now, black groupers can get in excess of 50 pounds, so he might get fairly large in the exhibit here, okay? And then, of course, we have some other fish around, some reef fish like grunts, snappers, some squirrel fish you might see in there. And then, of course, we also have one fish in particular. Her name is Abby, is our only queen triggerfish that we have in the exhibit. And she can be spotted on the surface. Now, that's the fish that looks like it's using both the top and bottom fins at the same time to feed. All right, guys, so now that Raheem is in place, let's see if we can get our sharks over to feed. Running a little bit behind time here, but these guys are okay. They'll be able to know what time it is. All right, so let's see if we can feed these guys here. Ready? Right. All right, guys, so what Raheem and I have done is thrown these large platform in the water. What the platforms do is call our nurse sharks over. Now, these two go by their names, Freddy and Buka. So, Freddy will be the shark being fed over by Raheem over there. And then Buka will be the guy feeding at my station. Now, these two sharks know that they have their own individual platform to go, so they cannot go to each other's platforms to get food. So Freddy, although he will attempt to come here, he will not be fed. Now guys, today is shrimp day. Shrimp day for our sharks, so it's one of their favorites. Feeding might go a bit quickly here, so that small delay that we had in the beginning may have benefited us a little bit because these guys may react pretty well to the shrimp. Now it all depends, alright guys? Every day is a new day, every day is a different day. We cannot guarantee that these sharks are going to come up and eat everything, but then we can't guarantee that they won't eat nothing as well. So let's see what happens, alright? So as the platforms go in, that loud splashing noise rings through the exhibit and lets the shark know that it's their time to come and feed. Now the sharks, during their period here, have realized that their parents are pretty strict. They only offer food for a certain amount of time. Once that certain amount of time is come and gone, that's it for the day, no more food. Food is off the table, so they know once the platforms are in, we better get our little fins in gear and get over there to get food. If not, we're going to miss out. So, all right. So here, right in front of me here, guys, is Buka. Buka is actually our smaller nurse shark, coming in at 8 foot 3 inches and about 245 pounds. All right. Now, Buka is a little bit more, I would say, he used to be the greedy one. Not anymore. It is Freddy across the way. Freddy has earned the title of being the largest shark by being the greedy shark. But then at the same time, he's a little bit on the lazy side as well because he doesn't really like following through his routine. Okay, so each shark here, guys, have their own little individual personalities. It's actually pretty cool to see. Of course, like I said, Freddy is usually the lazier one, but then sometimes he can be the greedier one as well and eat everything all at once. While Buka here tends to take his time quite a bit now. Alright, so what we're doing with our sharks here, guys, we're getting them to come up to the platform and go through a small routine that we have developed for these guys. Now, we're using a process called animal enrichment to feed our sharks. So basically getting them to go through some certain behaviors we want to see from them, make them sit still for a bit, and as they're sitting still, we're going to check these guys out to see how well they're doing, how well they're feeding, checking their skin, checking everything, all the sensitive areas around them, okay? And then of course we'll feed them for doing such a good job, because they do. Now this took a long time to instill in our nurse sharks, guys. This took quite a while actually. Over 3 months or so to train a shark like this. We are actually conditioning our shark to accept or adapt to a new feeding routine. Okay? Now, what you can see here is like I said before, a benthic feeder, which is a nurse shark. Now these guys have some really unique characteristics, alright? And I'll go through that in just a moment. Alright. So, what we do as they complete their little motions here, and I can hear Freddy is very excited for his shrimp today. What we're going to do here, we're going to get these guys to come out. As we're feeding them, we're getting them to sit still for a little bit, guys. We're getting them to sit still and just kind of go through all the motions. And go through all the motions here. And as you can see, oh, I'm sorry about that, Navi. He gets a little excited sometimes. Hey, bud. Now guys, these nurse sharks are fed once a day, 5 days out of the week. The process that you see here from them that they are sitting still is something that these guys can do perfectly well. Nurse sharks are one of the few sharks in the oceans that actually have the ability to sit completely still and breathe. They use a method called buccal pumping, to whereas they're pulling water through their mouth, pumping it over their gills, and allowing them to sit comfortably and well in the water. So how we are allowing our sharks to just kind of sit still like this, they could do that all day if needed. All right? They could do that all day if needed. Someone mistaking this flower for a piece of the food. All right. All right. So guys, what you can see, Dr. Navi and I doing here, we noticed that Buka has a few little scratches on his fin that we are taking the time to put some light topical cream on, just to ensure that these guys are healing over properly. This is another and a very valid reason on why we feed the sharks the way we do, so that we can take better care of these guys. Obviously, by feeding them this way, we can see how well the sharks are doing, how well they're feeding. We can get a nice, good, up close and personal look of our sharks to see what's happening with them physically as well. And if we're needing to, we can apply any kind of treatment we need to during this time of feeding. These sharks know that they're getting something good. They're getting rewarded with food. They're doing everything that is food motivated. All right. So sitting still, helping us, and ensuring that we're handling them is something that these nurse sharks are quite used to. And of course, they know that that is rewarded with food. Okay. Now, both sharks are fed once a day, 5 days out of the week. These guys especially are fed enough food to satisfy their hunger for the day, which we know deters them from eating the other fish in the exhibit. All right, sharks are cold-blooded. They're not like us that need to eat a lot. These guys here are cold-blooded creatures, meaning that they can go for quite some time without feeding. However, if they do get hungry, their instinct is going to kick in and tell them that it is their time to hunt food. So we keep these sharks hungry enough. One second. We keep these sharks full enough so that they do not have to have the want or need to hunt any of the other fish in the exhibit here. Right. And then, of course, by providing them with a nice, good, diverse feeding, or a diverse amount of food, types of food, we're able to provide them with all the essential vitamins, nutrients, you name it, that we give them, all right? Also, the fish in the exhibit here, guys, are not commonly found on the menus of nurse sharks anyway. So that's another good point that where they won't eat any of the other fish. Nurse sharks aren't particular about hunting a tarpon, but however, it does not mean that they do not have or possess the ability to do so, as they do. If my team and I were not feeding our sharks well enough in the exhibit, you would know, because the only thing that would exist in here would be 3 turtles and 2 sharks. That's it. Everything else would be food. But because of our processes, because of our feeding and our handling, we are able to keep this exhibit in balance and make sure that everybody is good, well, and healthy. So guys, as I said in the beginning, the feeding was going to go quickly. It's shrimp. It goes quickly. Thank you guys for coming out. If you have any questions or comments, we're going to stick around for a couple of minutes. Please find us, ask us any questions you have. Thank you so much for coming out again. Enjoy the rest of the day. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Thank you very much.
That was the shark feeding at Predator Bay, I think this is called, this area of the Cayman Turtle Center. Okay, ciao for now.